The layers palette has quite a few different things that you can do and ways to work with layers. Of course, you can turn them on and off by simply clicking them. You can rename a layer very easily by double clicking on the layer and naming it. You can also, if you right click, you get layer properties and you can give any layer a specific color. Down here you'll see that, I have quite a few layers in this image, and these are folders that have been put together. To make a folder, you click the layer that you wish to have the folder above. You go down here to the bottom to the folder icon and you name it, and we'll call this background adjustments, and then you simply select the layers that you wish to place in there and drag them up to the layer itself, and makes it a little bit more easier to manage your overall layers. The other things you can do with your layers, so here I have this figure, and under here we have the FX, and this gives you these various kinds of settings. So you can do a drop shadow on something by adjusting its overall look, and its opacity. You can even adjust its color, its distance. So if you look over here, you can see that I'm moving this down, and I can decide where I want my angle of light to come from and the spread, and like how much noise I wish to have with it, and it gives me a diagram over here with which to see. I can also add multiple settings at the same time, and each one of these has a different properties that go with it. So if I wanted to make that red, for instance, I can make it, let's say, red, and then I could increase that noise and have this, and I can also change its ink effect and so forth. So those are all under the FX, and then those get added here, and you can turn them on all together or turn them off individually and see them in different combinations. If you don't like them, you just drag the FX to the trash, and then you're back to where you started. You also have image adjustments, or excuse me, in this case, layer adjustments down here. Remember that these will be attached to the image itself. So in this case, well, that's not exactly true. It's going to cover the entire, everything that's below it. So you can see how that's all changing. If I don't want that to be the case, I actually need to take this, select the pieces that I want, then go and make an image adjustment, and it'll make me a mask, and then I can adjust those pieces individually. Other things to keep in mind with layer management is, of course, you have opacity, the ability to lock, unify, lock effects, lock visibility, lock movement, fill opacities, your opacities, and then your overall fill of the particular effect or layer. You also can do a bunch of other things with this drop down menu. You can merge down. So let's say I only want this much. If I have the eyeballs on for just the layers I want and leave these visible, if I go to this and then I say merge down, excuse me, merge visible, it's just going to merge the layers that have the eyeball turned on. If I have a bunch of these turned on and instead I go to merge visible, then I'm sorry, I just did that. If I want to create, let's say, I want to be able to have an image of all of these put together, right? So this is my full image, but I don't want to make any more adjustments to this. If I click on the top one and have all the eyeballs on that I want and hold down Shift, Option, Command, E, it'll actually make me a composite of all those layers together. So you see here. So now I have the ability to just work on this image alone and go from there. And you can see that, of course, I had that on as well. So now I could just adjust on the top and just play with this composite, because sometimes you can't see how things are going to merge together and the overall effect until you merge them down. Values may change, hues may change, things with different opacities may become stronger, so it's a good idea to check out what you're doing every once in a while.